I already showed you all the skills you need to get early on in Middle-earth Shadow of War, but I wanted to discuss the skills and mostly upgrades that you totally should have at all times. Doesn't matter if you're taking over a fort, hunting for loot, or defending a fortress against Sauron's forces. The skills I will show you in this video should always be activated to make your life much easier, so if you like that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. When you get to the end game of Shadow of War, you easily have a lot of skill points left to spend, or you can of course do the Shadow of the Boss missions where you play as Celebrimbor to get some extra points as well. Either way, it's easy to get the upgrades you need, and you'll be thanking yourself for spending the points on these skills every time you play. One of the first skills I want to highlight is Brutal Aggression, but to be fair, it's not really about the skill that lets you brutally kill the enemies. It's about the upgrade you unlock that has an impact on all your might field abilities. I'm talking about Zealous Might. With the upgrade, you can simply do 2 might attacks when your bar is full instead of 1. Something that can really turn the tide of battle, because you can simply do 2 executes, for example, that deals a ton of damage, and also deal double damage to the enemy that is weak against poison, for example, with 2 Elven Light. It doesn't matter how you play, this upgrade to the Brutal Aggression skill is always handy. Just like the Adamant upgrade, something that will literally save your life because it adds another last chance. So while you would normally die if you get on your knees multiple times, and this of course depends on the difficulty you are on, the harder the difficulty the less launch chances you got, with the Adamant upgrade to the Retaliation skill, you get an extra chance. Of course, this doesn't work against enemies with no chance, because they will simply insta-kill you no matter what. In all the other cases though, having the Adamant skill is really great. You will be fighting a ton of enemies in Middle-earth Shadow of War, so to have an ability to hit them all at once is really powerful. You will unlock the Spectral Glaive skill really early, but following it up with a Deadly Striker upgrade is a great choice to always hit multiple enemies at once. As I told you in my combat tips video, this skill is for example really great against targets that you first pinned, since the Deadly Striker has to charge, but after that you can unleash it to get in a lot of damage. Of course, when the enemy is pinned, he cannot do anything, so you can easily charge. Hitting the target afterwards is always nice to do. One of my favorite skills in Middle-earth Shadow of War is the Shadow Strike ability, mostly to teleport to the next roof and also kill or stun the target, but the most fun is if you can chain that as well. For example, at the start of a Fort Assault, you teleport to all the archers on the wall and kill them all with one chain attack. So having the Chain Shadows ability upgrade to the Shadow Strike skill is really good for all sorts of situations. Another chain can be cast with the Wrath Chain skill, but this one is for stealth kills. Not only does this look cool, but it's also super handy for killing multiple enemies with stealth attacks. For example, if you have to lure a captain by killing his allies with stealth attacks, or just for every other occasion basically, since stealth attacks are really nice to start a fight with. Upgrade it with Shadow Blade and your chain can be even longer, always handy. Of course, Elven Light is super handy to get. Execution skills, I already mentioned that in my previous video about the skills in Shadow of War, but those upgrades still differ depending on your situation. If you do a frost attack, for example with the Elven Light, against a frost-proof enemy, it doesn't really work. So you have to change the upgrade accordingly. The skill upgrades I mentioned in this video though are always nice, and you can easily leave them on no matter what you do, because they will always come in handy. These are the best choices for every player in my opinion. So yeah, there you have it, the skills I would recommend you have active at all times, no matter what activity, since they will always help you stay alive or help you be successful. Did I miss any skills? Please let me know in the comments down below. Of course, if you recommend your own skills, I'm really curious. Subscribe for way more Shadow of War content. I got an awesome Frost Lord build video coming up real soon and way more content coming your way. So subscribe to stay up to date on that. You can also check out my Necromancer endgame gear video and way more. Like the video to support the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.